If we think about this during this time, right now, it's difficult to pass it during the Taliban period and during the war. We had a lot of problems. People wanted to tell something about education and wanted to learn something, and generally, girls weren't allowed to go to the schools. So I decided to establish a course for them and collected all of them. But many times the Taliban came and they told me very bad things, and they didn't want to we have such courses. And I tried to learn the students the thing which I knew already. So it was a really difficult time. I was afraid too, because they will take me to the jail and they will arrest me. During the night, two times they came here and they wanted to find the people, and we were hidden under the stairs. It was very dark time and it was dark place, so I was there with my son, and I was afraid and I couldn't decide what should I do. Many of our neighbor escaped from this place, and they went to the mountain, on the mountain. And I stayed here with one of my neighbor. Right now he isn't here, and he went from here. So one time when they came and they asked me, do you have students? And I told no, I don't have, because I had a small house under my house. It was a dark place and very small place, but it was suitable for the students to learn something. And I taught them English, mathematics, physics, and some other subjects which they wanted to learn. So I tried to tell the students. And about 2 years, more than 2.5 years, I had different kind of students, and generally they didn't have any money to pay me. Without payment, I taught them, and I was happy to have a business because I was jobless and there were no job for me, and I was unable to work some hard and difficult jobs. I decided to help for my people because I'm obliged to serve them, to help them, because I was a teacher and I have taught more than 30 years. I was teacher, so it was my job, it was my food, so I like it. And I wanted to, if Taliban wanted to tell me something bad or to put me in the jail, I didn't afraid, and I decided anyway I must do this work. So I continued this job more than 2.5 years, and I spoke with my other colleagues. I have such course, and I want to um, decrease amount of increase amount of my students, and sometimes they decreased and sometimes they increased, and most of them were afraid and they didn't want to come during the official time. So it was difficult time. Anyway, I worked and I learned a lot from my students too, because I saw how the students were eager to learn something, some new things. And generally, they wanted to learn English, Persian, Pashto, and some other subjects, which was very interesting for me. And I continued until the Taliban period finished and came the new government. Right now, we are happy so I can go to the university, and I have a lot of girls students, particularly more than 60% of my students are girls, female. And girls and boys, they study together and they continue their studying. And right now they have freedom and they can learn many things which they want. Right now there is good condition for the studying. Anyway, there are a lot of problems too by this because we have reaction parties which they don't want to the students be together, particularly girl and boys, to sit in one class to study together. They don't want. They avoid this. But I wish to we have such condition, such time to girls and boys had more than this time freedom, and they continue their studying. This is my job, and I eager to continue such teaching in such a profession. This is very interesting for me. This area, most of our people are unfortunately illiterated people. And a few of them, they work the government, and most of them they work. They have themselves job, and they are immigration people which came from outside the Kabul province during the war, when the particularly Panjshir province during that war, people couldn't live there. When Russian people attacked there and they escaped, they came here and they tried to build house. They are illegal houses, illegal houses, because the government didn't distribute this district to them. And people came since there were no houses for them, were no places to live, and they decided to come this place, and they made themselves their house without any planning, without any canalization, irrigation, something which is necessary for a good place of living. I think most of them are jobless, and they work. They have a special their work on the city. They sell something which is very easy for them, which they don't need a lot of wheels. They have a few money and they work by do a that money, and they sell and buy something to the people. Fortunately, this is a peace place, and all the time I have lived here more than 20 years. I am living here. I didn't hear any crime about the people which other people they case it, but we don't have such problem. We have water pipe line, but it's far away. We don't have in the houses pipeline of water. About 100 meters far away from here. Some people more than 200 meters far away from here. They put the water on their shoulders, and some girls which they are 10 years to 12 years old, they have very heavy water pots, and they carry water and they climb on the mountains. It's very difficult for them. This is the leakage of water is our problem. And also there is no canalization. We have sanitation is not good here. Also we don't have a school in our village. Here is not a school. Here is not place for children to play. If we can have a school for the students, we have teacher, then we have water in our houses. It's very necessary for us. And also we want to have roads, because there is no road for the transportation. Is also difficult for the people of this village. They need to have the things which is necessary for a good living, all the things.